morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sicilian Corner. You know, Lou, when it's the first Friday of every month, who's our guest?
Yes.
Who's our co-host?
We're going to Sicily.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's always a pleasure, Eszter, to have you on board with us. For those of you who do not know Eszter, if you're looking for a private tour to Sicily, something, say 6 to 8 people, like an intimate family type of a trip, Eszter is your gal, let me tell you. You have created such a little niche for yourself. It's unbelievable, because we have a lot of people from the Merrimack Valley that travel to Sicily, and they use you as their tour guide. But you know something, girl, you end up getting, how can I say this? People are so grateful for what you do and how personal you make your tours. I mean, you end up with quite a bit of merch.
Oh, hang on. I got to unmute her.
The mic
Got
is
unmuted.
muted.
I was
Buongiorno, Mike. Buongiorno, Lou. Buongiorno, everyone. Yeah, you know, over the years, and by the way, our company is called You, Me, and Sicily. And, you know, I came here 10 years ago, not thinking for 1 second that I would be doing tours. Of course, Al Zapla, my partner in crime, was doing some tours before me. And actually, my first year, he had one going on. And I remember going on this tour with him, and I was just absorbing. And I turned to him and I said, there's no way I'm going to do tours. That's exactly what I said to him. And of course, he reminds me of that all the time. And I came here, you know, 10 years ago. Now it's our 11th year to do some videos on Sicily. We have a great YouTube channel that's been growing called You, Me, and Sicily. And here we are. I came here to do 7 videos, and here we are over 450 videos later.
That's amazing.
And we're still producing videos. And from that work, people have asked us to do some tours and take them to some of these very off the beaten path spots. And so we do have our group tours that's open to everyone. But one of the funnest things for us to do, for me to do, is put together these private customized tours for families, as you said, or couples, or you know, friends that want to come together and visit maybe their ancestral home, which is our favorite thing to do. And over the years, we've had some amazing people pass through our lives, sit here and have dinner with us on the deck, and
How
I'll show
nice
you
is that?
the view of the deck here. But you're right, people end up bringing us gifts, which
That's
is
what I
one
was
of my
saying. Yeah.
favorite things. Let me tell you the types of gifts, because on our YouTube channel, we talk about stuff, right? We talk about not only Sicily, Taormina, Syracuse, or Taormina, I mean, Cefalù, Palermo, but we also talk about life in Sicily. And all too often, Al and I will get into a conversation about what we miss in Sicily. So, of course, Alfred will talk about maple syrup, good barbecue sauce. I'll talk about my Dunkin' Donuts coffee, how I love my French vanilla Dunkin' Donuts, and gum, because believe it or not, the gum here is not the greatest. And so inevitably, people bring us supplies. Oh, and teriyaki sauce for me, supplies. And this shirt I'm wearing right now,
Yeah.
this woman couldn't figure out, she was from Texas. She couldn't figure out what to bring me, but she said, Eszter, you're always looking so stylish. And she has a clothing shop. She said, if I brought you food, it would disappear within whatever. If I brought you a clothes, you'd remember me. And here I am. She came on our June tour, and I remember her. I'm wearing her shirt, and you know, and
Those
it's
are
nice to get
sunglasses.
These are sunglasses. Aren't
Okay.
these cute?
All right. I like the yellow. The yellow is upbeat. The yellow is sunshine.
She knows I like yellow. She knew I hadn't even met her. She just knew us
Wow.
from our videos, because we talk about, she sees what I wear, she sees what I like. So she thought, oh, people bring us mugs, towels. It's wonderful. And then they become part of our family.
Well, and plus it makes you feel good. It really does. You're doing that little bit of extra, and it's being recognized by your clients. And the best advertising you can have is word of mouth. There's no question about that. One person talks. I know you just had Al Teresi out there this summer. I mean, he comes back to the Merrimack Valley area. He starts talking to some of his friends, and before you know it, they got another group together. Mike Sullivan, he was just in Sicily. We mentioned not Sicily, he was in mainland Italy, and we talked about you and how personal, and the next family trip they're going to take, they're going to be in touch with
That's
you. So
wonderful. Thank
that's
you, Mike.
nice. That's nice. I like stuff like
It is
that.
word of mouth because Al and I put a lot of thought, a lot of detail into every single component of the entire day. The entire day is very, not scheduled, but it's the details, the juice, the magic is in the details, from what we eat every day to where we go and why do we go on this day or that day. So, but it's been a pleasure for me to be doing it. Hey, Mike, I want to wish you and Lou and everyone all happy All Saints Day.
Absolutely.
And
And
tomorrow's All Fools Day, big holiday here in Italy and Sicily.
absolutely. And my grandparents on the Lamazzo side talked about that quite a bit because people actually get all kinds of flowers. You must have vendors all over the streets, right? Selling flowers. And
Yeah,
they're going to
today
go
is
to the cemetery.
Friday.
Yeah. And they're going to go to the cemetery and they're going to spend hours, if not a good portion of the day. Some of them probably bring in a hibachi and have a little bite to eat, Lou, while they're there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. The past few days, it's All Souls and All Saints is coming, that the streets are lined with all types of vendors selling beautiful flowers. And tomorrow, people will go to the cemetery. Today is more of a social day. There's
Yeah.
no clue. Schools are closed. Banks. It's a holiday. But tomorrow is more of a let's say religious and solemn day that you remember loved ones who have passed. And people, for sure, there's a cemetery really near us, and for sure there's no way we're taking that road tomorrow to go anywhere.
Really? Because
It'll be packed.
it'll be so jammed, right?
Mike, the nice thing about especially Sicily is that they still keep these very religious holidays and they observe them. Becomes a family event. As I said, there's no school. That means the country really does honor these holidays as
Hmm.
they should.
Oh, absolutely. How last night, Halloween? How does Sicily celebrate Halloween? I mean, is it a big deal? I mean, last night, uh, in my little community and in my little street, I ended up giving out 86 full Hershey bars. 86.
Wow.
But the weather was like 82, 83 degrees, which, here we are in November, you're getting 82. I mean, the kids loved it. I mean, they were all over the place. But you know what I like? All the parents and some of the grandparents were out there with them.
Yep.
So you get to know the parents that live on the street. You see them maybe drive by in a car, and you really don't know them that well.
Right.
And all of a sudden you've got a whole family out there, and it's really, it was really nice. My next door neighbor, Susie, her husband went absolutely nuts decorating. I mean,
Oh, really?
he was out there probably 7 o'clock yesterday morning, putting up bales of hay and caution tape and all kinds, spotlights on this, spotlights on that. And I loved it. I loved it,
dig in and
because
have
they
some
got a
fun,
couple
right?
of grandchildren,
Yep.
and something that's all about the kids. It really is,
Well,
But they
let
were
me give you.
they were so polite, Esther. I don't know how many times I heard the kids say to me, "Oh, thank you, thank you."
Yeah.
And then I had
Well, that's-
another guy come along, and I had it was like a hollowed out pumpkin, but it was made out of tin.
Mhm.
And I had the candy bars in there. And this kid was trying to grab 3 or 4 of them. So I slapped his hand. I says, "Oh, knock it off. Knock it off." But I was shocked. That's the most people that I've had in years. Like I said, I'm not in a very metro metro area, and
Yeah.
it was good. I enjoyed it as much as they did, but uh, for whatever reason today, and I have to say to our listeners, Lou, any of you out there that have a bad back, I feel for you because
Mm.
I'll be honest with you. This morning, Lou,
It's barking today.
I really didn't think I was going to be here this morning. I thought I was going to have to do it from the house. And you know something? We persevered. Just like I said to you earlier, there were a lot of days when you're not feeling good physically,
Yep.
but you come in and, you suck it up. But today, man, I'll tell you, it came to a flip of a coin. I got my favorite quarter that I use when I'm undecided.
You have a coin flip quarter?
Oh, sure.
Oh, all right.
Oh, yeah. Don't you?
No,
Come on.
I don't know if I have a quarter, to be honest with you. You have a specific coin
Well,
flip quarter?
thank God you
yeah.
made it in.
I want to know, like last night at your home in Sicily.
Okay. So first of all, Halloween is an American holiday. There's no Halloween here.
There is not. Okay.
There's no trick-or-treaters. There's, now in the past maybe 5 years, you start seeing some people have Halloween candy. In fact, there's one shop, Lidl, which is the international shop. We like to go there because, they have every week they have a theme. They have the Japanese, the Mexican.
Oh,
So
nice.
of course
Nice.
it was American. So then they had Halloween candies. But you go into everyday mom and pop shop, there's zero Halloween. There's no trick-or-treating, there's no parties. No, the big holidays are the 1st and the 2nd. Now, I will have to say that, having said that past 5 years, maybe you'll see it in some places, even some shops maybe will have, some kind of a pumpkin. What's been astounding to me in the past, again, 5 years, is that all of a sudden Black Friday has made it to Sicily. We go to Tarnina's Black Friday sale. I'm like, what the heck? All these American imports. I mean, I got to tell you, there's so many American imports that I've seen come in the past few years. Like, for instance, you'll go into a supermarket where in my first year I never saw Doritos, I never saw Pringles, stuff like that. All of a sudden you find them in the shops. They're not the same. They're not the same as in the United States. They're probably made in Germany or something like that. But they are those types of American things. And let's not even mention McDonald's that has arrived to Sicily. Unfortunately, there are several McDonald's as well.
How about Dunkin' Donuts?
No, I have to go back to Boston and bring my supply of Dunkin' Donut French vanilla coffee.
Okay, so there's your project for you and Al. You got to do a Dunkin' Donuts franchise, the first one in Sicily. Be great.
Are you kidding? Have you ever had a true Italian espresso?
So strong. Yeah.
Or, well, actually, believe it or not, the espresso has less caffeine than a cup of coffee that's made by an American. Yes, it does. By American percolator. Yes, it does. It has less caffeine. And by the way, my favorite type of coffee is a caffè macchiato, which is a shot of espresso with a little bit of foam.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we have the caffè americano, which is what Al has. And, Al in the summer, he likes his iced coffee. And here they have no concept of what the iced coffee is, even in the summer. You ask for an iced coffee, you get like a granita coffee, like a coffee granita.
Yeah, like a slurry.
Yeah. So what we do is I ask for a cup of ice and bring me an Americano, and we simply pour it over a glass of ice, and voila, there's your iced coffee in Sicily. Now, if
Well,
you
we
want to
have
go,
iced coffee in January here.
what?
We have iced coffee in January here. We're drinking all.
I know. And
You
to
talk-
bring it to a step even further, get a cappuccino and you have like a iced latte.
Well, you know something, traditions, and there's going to be more and more American products coming into Sicily. That's for sure. I mean, you can see just the tip of the iceberg. Before you know it, everybody wants to be like the Americans, really, in most countries.
I know, but I don't want a McDonald's in Sicily. I don't like that concept at all.
That's created such a stir in Italy. You have no idea, right?
But wait
Esther?
a sec. But yes, but let me tell you about the McDonald's in Sicily. That's not like a McDonald's in the United States. You go in there, you can get a cappuccino, you can get a cafe, you can get a beer, you can get a croissant, which in Sicilian it's cornetti. You can get real high-end types of desserts and foods, of course, the cheeseburger and so forth. But imagine, these places are packed with Sicilians, kids especially, the teenagers
Mhm.
especially. And by the way, for people who live here, Americans who live here and sort of want to break from Italian and Sicilian food, no other place to go. I want to tell you one other place that's been, starting to come up all over the place are steakhouses.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, listen, maintain your thought because I need to take a break. I'm just running a little bit behind, but we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about steakhouses. Wow.
In Sicily.
And Sicily.
Sicilian steakhouse.
I mean, I've seen some of the cattle in Sicily and they're a little scrawny, to be honest with you. Anywho, we'll be right back, everybody.
Ciao, this is Eszter of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's, honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery tender Lazy Man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back, and Eszter is our guest. And this is a kind of a serious, important, but fun time, more or less, in Italy and in Sicily in particular. You know, when it comes to cemeteries at night, I get spooked. You know, it depends upon the condition of the cemetery. I get that. I mean, you look at the cemeteries here in Methuen and Lawrence, and they're in good shape. You know, the tombs are intact and tombstones are upright and all this, that, and the other thing. But, you know, Catania is such an old city. You have, I believe, 11 different cemeteries. At night, boy, I'll tell you, that has to be, you know, when you get back that old, I'm sure a lot of the crypts are not in the best of shape. And the reason I'm saying that is, Eszter, you know, I love New Orleans. If I'd go to New Orleans in a heartbeat, I just love the food. I love everything about it. But brother, Louis, they have some cemeteries there. I mean, it'll make the hair. I mean, seriously. The Lafayette one. I mean, that cemetery gives you goosebumps during the daytime. Never mind walking through there at night. I can't even imagine. And I'm sure Eszter, in the Catania area or in some of these small towns, that to me, it spooks me. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it. But between November 1st and November 2nd, supposedly the ghosts rise and they want to go back to where they were from, their ancestral roots. And all this kind of ties in together a little bit. I don't know. It bothers me. I don't like it. I like going to a cemetery around noontime. You know what I mean? When the sun is out. What do you think? The cemeteries in Catania in good shape?
You're leaving me a little, I'm not sure how to answer this. First of all, the cemeteries here, there's the type that we have in the United States, but also they have the acropolis, which are above ground. So a family buys one and everyone's buried in different sections. So they look like little mini houses.
Okay.
Section, so
they're like little maybe mausoleums type of thing.
Mausoleums, exactly. I've never been to a cemetery at night, Lou, here in Sicily. I've been to cemeteries here. Accidentally, my first year, I stumbled inside of them. They're gated, just like in the United States. They're well protected, and they're pretty well maintained. On Sundays, there's even a guy that comes by and sells flowers, not just on All Souls Day, which is tomorrow, November 2nd, but every single Sunday. A lot of people go and visit their loved ones who have passed. But I don't, to me, of course, they're ancient, but, the most ancient, by the way, cemetery or place of burial that I've been to is in Agrigento and the Valley of Temples. Believe it or not, between all the Greek temples, there are ancient burial sites above ground where they actually kept, the way they buried them was above ground. Those are perhaps the most ancient and, to me, the most fascinating burial sites in all of Sicily. And this is very interesting. The way they buried their people, especially like the Greeks and the Carthaginians and so forth, they put them above ground, and they had a sort of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a portal like this above ground. And the significance was birth, ascension somewhere, and then death. And that's why all the some kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? Some kind of a symbol above it, like a crescent above it. So those are interesting. But to me, cemeteries, when I go visit my dad, who's buried in Lawrence, Massachusetts, to me, it's a time to reconnect, say hello. I don't know if I would say creepy. I've never, now next time I go, I'm going to feel creeped out.
No.
I'm going to think, well, Mike said.
No. Wait a second. I want to define your ancient. You used the word ancient a couple times, and yesterday, just as circumstance, it wasn't planned. I was in a very old cemetery in my hometown.
Seriously?
Because it's near a park.
What are the odds?
We just walked the dog.
Where's that, Lou?
Old Hill Cemetery in Newburyport, which is a beautiful old cemetery, and we're talking burials from the 1600s. So when you say ancient, I want to get that scope.
Wow.
What's ancient? How long ago?
When I said me?
Yeah.
Valley of Temples, Greece. Before Christ.
Yeah, okay. That's I want to get those numbers out
300 there. Before Christ. The word I was looking for is arch. Thank you, arch. So they buried them, all of them above ground, and then there was an arch on all of them, to symbolize birth, ascension, and then death. Right. And those are probably the most ancient. Now, if you go to the Duomo in Catania, which is the main cathedral, the big one in downtown Catania, some of the churches, especially the Duomo, there's some people buried there. Mm-hmm. Vincenzo Bellini is buried there. So we're talking, 1600s as well. One of the archbishops, Dusmet, was buried there. I can't remember what year, but there's his actual, there's an actual burial ground inside of the cathedral.
Yeah. You mentioned about being above ground. There are some areas, and again, I'm going to have to revert back to New Orleans. You're just about even with sea level, to be honest with you.
Yep.
And they cannot bury anything in the ground. So there are all these old crypts, and everything is cobblestone and iron gates that got these points on them. I mean, the place is spooky to begin with. It really is. It drives me. I mean, that Lafayette one, they just spent $1.5 million kind of fixing it up a little bit. But there are some cemeteries.
During
God.
Katrina, there was a lot of bodies that just started floating. Right.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. But I mean, you got cobblestones.
That's creepy, by the way.
You got gates that are knocked down.
That's creepy,
you can
Lou.
look inside some of the crypts.
Yep.
I mean, Jesus, I don't know. I mean,
there's some in Old Hill above ground crypts that are open too.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, some older ones. Yeah.
It gives me the willies. I don't know. We were actually on the island of St. John's one year, and there was a cemetery probably about less than 50 yards away from where we were staying at Gallows Point, and the water had washed out the crypt quite a bit, and it was half sticking out. Jesus, that stuff like it bothers me.
Grazie, but no.
Yeah, really. And I wouldn't mind that cemetery that I was telling you about. Directly across the street on this beautiful little narrow oak tree street is one of the best restaurants in the city of New Orleans, called Commander's Palace. And you walk 75 feet and you're in the cemetery. And it's I don't know.
Creole has a different, and that part of the country has a different relationship with the dead too. They kind of embrace the dead and more celebrate the dead more than we have in the Northeast, where we kind of fear it and we get a little spooked out by it.
You know who was buried there? Marie Laveau. Do you remember Marie?
No.
She was the voodoo queen.
Oh.
I mean, they get into all this hairy stuff. I mean, you go into the bars in New Orleans, there's some spooky stuff. Eszter, I didn't mean to cut you off, honey. What were you going to say?
I think Lou just made a very good point, because the people here in Sicily have a far different, and Italy have a far different relationship with the dead, where they, honor them, respect, it's much more, there's no, spooky. That's why I didn't really know how to answer you, Mike, because that kind of mentality is not here. You walk into a cemetery, it's more of a loving thing. It's not a spooky thing. It's more of an honor. It's more of a respect thing.
You know something? You're 100% right. I mean, I like to go to the mausoleum in Lawrence. My mom and dad are entombed there. And, I sit there. I mean, I'm not one bit spooked or anything like that. I reflect an awful lot. And, sometimes those trips, I love being there. And there are other times when I leave that I get very depressed. So I respect, what my parents did for me. I'll never forget it. And, something, I think my dad and I had a relationship that was incredible. I mean, I caused my parents an awful lot of grief. I was always in trouble. And
but they loved you, Mike.
And my brother was just the opposite. My brother was my mother's favorite. And, he never did anything wrong. He was like a choir boy, compared to me. I had cops coming to the house, knocking on the door. One day, my grandmother was
You?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet Father Mikey.
I was always getting in fights. I was always getting thrown out of grammar school. I mean, I caused them more grief. And my father, to his credit, the way he handled things, Lou, he always smoked a pipe. And one day he caught me. I was 13 years old. He caught me in a compromising position with a young lady.
Okay.
And he came home sick. He was come home from tire rubber sick.
Yeah.
And I thought I could smell pipe smoke, right? And sure enough, he says, walks in with the pipe. Oh, excuse me. He says, Mike, when you have a chance, I'd like to see you out in the garage. That's how he handled that. Me, I would have went crazy if it was my son. I mean, the way he handled it, God bless him. Got outside, got in his Buick, and because she was a couple of years older than me, he says, women are going to try and take advantage of you. You got to be careful. Blah, 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 blah. But
that's what happened when you went to garage.
Yeah,
you get a little talk.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He says, you're a big boy for your age. You got to be careful. And he was so cool. He was so freaking cool. I loved my father. I think about it now and it makes me laugh. It really does, Esther.
That's what it's supposed to be all about. Good memories, right? Remember the good times. That's what it's supposed to be.
I started to tell you about my grandmother, Messina. Her English was poor to none. I mean, and the cops came to the house because I threw a rock and I hit this girl on the side of her head. Her last name was Bomba.
I'm finding out so much about you today.
No, really. I beat her with a rock. She was a pain in the ass. She really was.
Was it a good shot?
The father called the father called the cops.
Yeah.
So I saw the cruiser coming. So going back to the garage, I'm hiding in the garage. And the cop's knocking at the door, and he's asking my grandmother, who doesn't speak English, where I am. I mean, it was just one thing after. I was destined to be a delinquent, juvenile delinquint,
And look at you now.
Yeah.
Look at you now.
Look at me now. I've gone from 6. I've gone today. I'm from 6'2". I'm down to 5'1". I'm so hunched over. It's awful. It's awful. Hey, Esther.
Hey, did you say this? Is it time for a break?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I have to pay a couple of bills because, Louis, he does all right for himself here.
It costs money. Yeah.
And I got to make sure I take care of him because without him, I don't have a show. Anyway, everybody, I know we've been all over the place. Let me see. Oh, baby.
So gorgeous.
Oh, that is lovely. Gorgeous, gorgeous. What's the temp, Esther?
Well, it was in the mid-high 70s. Now it's getting a little chilly. Like I'm probably going to put a sweater on, a sweatshirt on.
Maybe warmer here. I don't want to upset you, but it may be warmer here right now.
It is.
No, this is right now. It's almost 5 o'clock. During the day, it's 75. I'm wearing short sleeves.
Perfect.
I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing shorts right now.
Yeah, with sunglasses on them. Listen, we'll be we'll be right back, everybody.
Ciao, this is Eszter of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining experience to its customers at Ristorante Molise. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's, honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
All right, and we are back, and we'll be right up until noontime. We got Eszter with us, and we've been talking. I mean, we've been all over the place. We went to New Orleans. I mean, Jesus. I mean, you know, we're in cemeteries. We talked about the Voodoo Queen.
Yep.
I mean, you name it. We we have done it. All Souls Day. Is it still kind of traditional in Sicily that they make the let's see how we also the
Osso
Osso di Morto,
Osso di Morto.
the bones everywhere.
Everywhere. There's not only that, but there's the Rama di Napoli.
Yeah.
Are those round ones the best? That they have the Nutella filled, the pistachio filled, the jam, some kind of jam filled. So that's everywhere, and it'll be around for another few days, and then it's gone. And for those of you guys who hear a dog, it's because I'm in our outdoor studio, and the people downstairs have a dog, and you never know when he's going to come.
I thought that was your stomach. I thought you were hungry.
I thought it was Al.
Oh my God, this dog, I got to tell you. And so this is our set where we film our Union Sicily YouTube show. And we came out here earlier today because we shot a part of Sunday's show. And this dog was out here barking. And I go downstairs. The kids, the owners, they're not downstairs. So they put the dog out there. Then there were times that he's thirsty and he's all. So I took water. His little plate was empty. So it's crazy, this dog. And I do have to say that the dogs, the birds, they're all louder here in Sicily. I mean, these birds chirp. I mean, they chirp. Before the show started, there was a bee buzzing. The bee was this big.
No, we heard it. We heard it.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Louis, we're talking about the bones of the dead. That it's an almond cookie.
Yep.
Man, I'll tell
So
you.
good.
You want to test your teeth?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. You
Oh,
test
so
it.
it's hard. Oh.
But the other one, the Rame di Napoli,
Yep.
those are nice, morbid.
Absolutely.
I'm using an Italian word. Morbido means soft. They're very soft and they're like a cookie. They're delicious. This is a great period right now because the fall foods are starting to come in. The purple cauliflowers. We already had two times roasted chestnuts. That
every corner there's somebody's roasting chestnuts, right?
Now I got to tell you the weirdest thing, and everyone's talking about it because of the lack of rain, the drought that we've had this year. A lot of our fall crops haven't come out. For instance, by now I would be having artichokes at least 2 times a week.
The price is going crazy.
Crazy.
You can't get them.
Won't even sell them. No, and now they're talking that maybe it'll be a little bit later on in the season they'll come. We did have a couple of rains, but really nothing to speak about, honestly.
Which is surprising because a lot of parts of Europe have really got hit hard with rain. I mean, I've been
get something in Palermo, but you know what? God bless, and our prayers are with the people, especially places like Spain. Terrible.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I saw the waters, and we saw it here locally, and I say locally, 1,500 miles away in Florida and areas like that. And it's hard when you're so far away to really get feel for what these people, they're losing everything. And a lot of them, they're not insured. And that's a double whammy. So, I mean, you got an older person, husband and wife team that have been married for 53, 55 years. And all of a sudden, their whole life gets swept away. I'll tell you, I'm glad we live in New England. I really do. New England, to me, it's got beauty. It's got the different seasons. There's so many pluses. I mean, I love it. I just love it.
Yeah, definitely. You've got the sea. You've got the mountains.
Oh, I mean, a tank full of gas away, you're in a different world. I mean, Vermont, Maine, Connecticut. Yeah. I mean, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Hey, listen,
go ahead.
Have you ever, first of all, I want to say I learned something from watching your show the other day. I never realized, first of all, that the University of Catania was as old as it is, number one.
1482.
Wow.
Louis.
Wow.
1482. And the building's still standing.
Holy cow.
In Las Vegas, a building gets to be 45 years old. They blow it up and put a new one there.
3rd largest in Italy.
Yep.
28th largest, oldest in the world.
Wow. That's incredible. One thing that stood out in my mind that I thought about quite a bit yesterday. It's basically a think tank I mean, they're coming up. You got some programs. You had a professor on with you, and he's looking for innovations. He's looking for new products, and he helps these kids develop from within. And it's incredible the research that goes on. I mean, one of the projects in particular, because of the dust, Lou, from Mount Etna.
Yep.
It does a job on the streets, and it's all over the place. You're sweeping it up. Esther, I don't have to tell you, but a couple of the students have come up with this kind of a solution, a product that helps get rid of that dust. Do you know much about that, Esther?
Well, first, Professor Rosario Faraci, he's our dear friend.
I couldn't think of his name.
We've had him on many, many times because he is really a Renaissance man. He's doing more for those kids and also for Sicily. He's a very forward thinker, and he is the head of the University of Catania's startup section. He's also teaches entrepreneurship. And there's a program that gives young students and recent graduates a chance to come up with ideas, and they actually get money to implement it and start it up. And this was his 11th year. And the 3 projects that one was the reusing the volcanic ash by adding a very simple component, and I can't remember what it is. It's another element, and it helps with water filtration. It helps with a number of other things. The second one is an AI GP chat, an artificial intelligence that helps in the triage. And so, for instance, you go now in the triage, you go into the emergency room and you give you're a patient and you have to have a long conversation with the doctor because they can't always, they don't always have the information on hand. This way, you take the computer, you put in the guy's name, and whoop, the entire medical history comes up like this.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And the third one, which is a very fascinating one as well, is because of the drought that we've had. A lot of farmers have had to ration, or they, sometimes they have fear of overwatering. So this machine that this kid came up with his brother would automatically add as much water as the plant needed, as much water and fertilizer as the plant needed.
Without overwatering. Yeah, wasting water.
So it won't, and also it saved on, the farmer's time because he won't have to be watering all the plants. It automatically waters, and it senses when it's overwatering. So it's fascinating. And I got to tell you that it's these types of innovations that's putting the University of Catania and Sicily on the map, because these guys are not just Sicily, they're right now, this week, they are beginning of the week, they were in Rome making these presentations and competing with other people doing innovations like this all over Italy. But these guys are at the top, you're looking at at young, bright kids. And the number one goal, by the way, not only to come up with these ideas, but also keep these kids back here in Sicily and keep these innovations here in Sicily and create industry here in Sicily. Because as you know, we have a huge problem where the graduates, they all want to leave. There are no jobs here. And so this helps keeps the jobs here. Professor Rosario Faraci is brilliant. Really brilliant, and doing a great job with these kids.
I enjoyed listening to him talk. You could tell the enthusiasm that this professor has just by looking at him. I mean, he wears his thoughts right on his face. I mean, it's incredible, and I love that. I'm sure he can relate to the kids, and the kids can relate to him. So that's very important. But can you imagine a university built in the 1400s and still standing?
I know, right?
Cheapest.
Still operating.
I got to tell you, some of the classrooms, so the building I was in was the science and business building. I've been to a classroom in Catania in the basement of a Benedictine monastery, where the classrooms are in like ancient Greek. I mean, some of the Greek structures underground, all rocks, all among rocks. And of course, in the summer, it stays cool over there. But it is, I mean, some of those kids are in classrooms that are from 15, 1600s.
Wow.
Actual ancient. And but listen, the funniest thing is I remember going into one of the classrooms and having to like bow down because people were shorter back then.
Yeah,
It's true.
that's true. Absolutely.
true.
I mean, my Nana Messina, she was 4'11". That was a lot. That was a lot. I think I was 8 years old. I was taller than her. I mean, it's just what a sweetheart of a lady. Oh, she was a peach. She really was. That dog, he's got a lot to say too, huh? Hey.
Zito.
What's his name?
No, I said Zito.
Oh,
Zico.
okay.
The Zito means shut up in
Oh,
Italian.
I know what it meant.
Stai
Yeah,
zitto. Stai zitto.
oh, he understands Italian because he shut up. That's good. That's good.
Lives in Italy, so
Wow, you're all right, Esther. You got a lot of talents. Hey, listen, take care of yourself. What's your next show? You and me and Sicily. What's it going to be about?
This Sunday, we're going to Giardini Naxos. We're going to talk to our friend Roberto about all things Sicily, about the birth and start of the pizza,
Be
all
still
types
my
of
heart.
things.
Be still my heart. Margarita pizza. Oh,
I mean, once you
so
see this hotel that we stayed at, Al and I, in Giardini Naxos, it's going to be one of the spots that we'll be staying at for a secret brand new September tour next 2025.
all right. Esther, as always, thank you.
Thank you to you and Lou.
Thank you. Take care of yourself. Say hi to Al for us.
Arrivederci.
Yeah, arrivederci. Hey, listen, everybody. I hope you can join us next week. Lou and I will be here, same station, same everything, and maybe I'll be back to 6'2" again. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
who's our guest next week?
We don't have one.
Oh,
but thank you very much for asking.
Okay. Usually you tell us.
Yeah, if I had one, I'd tell you. If anybody has an idea,
So
let me
it'll be a
know.
surprise.
I think it's going to be you and I chatting.
All right.
That's what I think.
We can do that.
All right. Take care, everybody. Have a nice weekend.